Alright everybody, today I'm working on a 1975 houseboat, and I've reached a major milestone here with the plumbing. I finally have the transfer tanks in, and all of the plumbing as far as drains rerouted so that everything drains properly. I've also hooked up a lot of the supply lines. Everything's buttoned back up except for the toilets and the showers. I'm testing the water in the transfer tanks here. Everything comes to a junction right there underneath the staircase. From the front of the boat and each side of the boat, it all collects in these two small transfer tanks. I did that for redundancy in case one of these pumps fails. It would still be able to work on one system. So I have check valves, and it all pumps out through a flexible hose and out the side of the boat. We've been doing a whole lot of needle scaling, and what prompted the project is this hatch in the back. The bilge pump was not working. This boat doesn't see a whole lot of use, so it had a whole lot of water back here. This pump didn't work, so I replaced it and I put a check valve there. Everything's really dry. We got all the water dried up. It was nearly to the tops of the I-beams here in the floor. This boat was a big sand barge, I believe from Florida, and the owner in 1975 put a new bottom on the whole thing. That's why you see a crosshatch pattern. Everything here, like this and that, is original to 1945, and then the bottom is 1975. So there's a lot of steel, a lot of weight in the bottom of this boat. You can kind of tell in some places that the original bottom was cut out, like right there, and a new bottom added on. This will be a washer and dryer. There's been a lot to this project. There was a whole bunch of needle scaling and rust repair to do. A lot of flaky rust. This is the last section. We got one more coat of paint to go up here. So I've been through everything that's possibly reachable. It did have some kind of original coating from 75, but it wasn't done very well or properly or something, and I think the coating may have been done after the bathrooms were put together, because there was a ton of rust flake underneath the bathroom area. It was tiled, so I think maybe it was just not coated underneath the bathrooms, and then it was an afterthought to coat everything before the rest of the floor went down. So that was our major problem areas. We had a little bit of standing water here. I think this toilet was leaking, and it had a lot of rust flake coming off the beams and the floor, but everything checked to be good. We had it ultrasound tested, so I think the floor is good to go. Ton of paint. We probably put down, I bet it's 10 gallons of Rust-Oleum with hardener, and also Rust-Oleum metal primer. And the rust converter we used initially was OSPO, so we did all our needle scaling, used OSPO, and then did the Rust-Oleum metal primer, rusty metal primer, and then Rust-Oleum white mixed with a little bit of orange tractor paint to add it to get back to kind of the original color that I found in the middle. And of course I added a little catalyst hardener to that, and also some mineral spirits to thin it out just a little bit. So it's coming out really good. I think we've fixed all the major issues. I've had the water running for quite some time, no leaks. The plumbing was a little bit of a mess, so I've rerouted quite a bit and got everything draining properly. The black water system has also been cleaned out. A couple check valves and things have been rerouted. The way this system works is it all pumps up to a tank in the front of the boat. Each toilet has a built-in pump, so it's relying on those pumps to get it uphill. I would say the rise is about 4 feet maybe 5 at the very most. There's 3 bathrooms down here in the very bottom, 1 bathroom upstairs. You can see it may be leaking there. I'll have to check it at the very end, and once we get this back together, and make sure it's not leaking. But everything pumps up to the front of the boat into a transfer tank. We noticed a lot of those fittings, I guess the chemicals and the black water was probably eating away some of the steel. So some of those fittings were nearly broken off. One had a crack in it. And so all that's been replaced with plastic PVC. So I think he'll be problem free for a long time here. We've got some tile to do in the showers. That'll be some of the next work I do here. I'll show you real quick in the shower. Had to tear all that out so that we can do the rust remediation. So that's the first layer. I'll then do a rubber matting on top of that. Seal around the edges with red guard and put a final concrete layer on the top. So that is my project. This is May of 2026, so it's been a long time. It's been 50 years since this thing's been finished, and so it's done pretty well. All right, with that, I'll leave it, and I'll talk to you guys on the next project.